it's a Mitchell on the pool with a update on my jumbo Sherman. As you can see, she's basically ready for primer now. I haven't used all the PE because I like some of the kit parts, but perhaps I should have used more, but I've kept all the parts because they're okay for most, all the Shermans I'm going to build in the future, so that's okay. You can see I've got this shelf actually tucked up at the back. I've actually got one photo etch clamp at the back for this tow cable, which actually works with a butterfly in that, which is quite unusual. What I will say is when you're doing those small clamps like that, I found you need 0.3 wire for these particular ones. And then what I did is I used a metal file to actually sharpen it, so it's like a point. So when you're putting it through, you've got a point to actually guide it through the holes, because there is 4 holes it has to go through on that. Believe it or not, on that when it comes through, I'll zoom in. But it's 3 holes on that, 4 holes, sorry, to go through, one either side, and then 2 you push together in the middle. So if I stop in a second on this, just to show you what I mean. There we go. I might be, hopefully I'll zoom in and if I just drop down a second, there we go. Whoops. That's it, I think. I'm not going to go further. It actually works. All this works, shows you the size of it. It actually works quite nicely. I'm going to lift it up, but it can work as well. The actual butterfly nut is laying flat on the whole top, and that actually moves as pivots as well. So it was a fiddly job to do. I might just turn it in a little bit. Fiddly job to do, but it came out really nice in the end. I'm quite happy with that. So that was okay. And I'm going to try not to say I'm quite happy with it. Anyway, so if I put it back on the old swivel and come back out, see I filled that bit there as well, because there was a little small gap there. No problem. I'll just leave it the details as it comes in. It's easier just to show it like this and go moving around. You see the actual bolts on the top there, and come back out a little bit more, and a little bit more. Now, got the machine gun done. I was going to use the brass bits for that, but to be honest, and after watching Greg's build of the 50 cal, I realised it's really nice, because these have got all holes all the way through. I just drilled them out. I think that's what Greg did. Drilled them out because there was some plastic inside that was still moulded there, but that's okay. Clears out and you've got a nice tube, and then I drilled the barrel out a fraction more to give it a bit more definition, and that worked really well. So now I've basically got my stuff, as you can see, ready on for factory spraying for the primer coat, and I'm most probably using black Mr. Surfacer primer, very fine primer, about 1,500 I think it is, something like that, and all round underneath and all the shadow areas, and then go in with a normal Mr. Surfacer on all the other areas, and start the process of that. I might even spray the whole vehicle tank and black and go with it. But anyway, so that is a tank now. I've also made a start with it's actually the build part of it's finished now. In regards to what's I've done a mini art wrecked building to put this jumbo in, so it looks like it coming into a city, leading the column as it were. And I'm going to switch off now, and I'll come back in a couple of seconds. Well, I'm back. Basically, this is the Brewery building base. It's from Mini Art. The kit number is 36049. It's a vac form kit, as most of you know. So it's the first time I've had to put building parts aside. I've done a wall part for the local model shop one with a wall area, but not the building. So this was my first attempt at one of those, and I've learned something about it. And next time I will take more care with the building of it. So here it is. I'm going to show you now. See the whole thing now. And you do get some spare bits in there, like walls and bits and pieces. There's a lamp as well, and I may or may not use the lamp, as you saw it on the picture there, but it goes about here somewhere, and I'm not sure I'm going to put the lamp there, but there's a corner, so there's a possibility. Anyway, so I've used a lot of fillers, you can see all around there, the white bits, and that's the Vallejo one, so you can just rub it in there, let it slowly start to dry, then with a damp brush run along. So I've done that. Same up through here, but I've also used the Tapper the Tamiya yellow cap, orange cap putty to actually go across the top and to make it look tidier, which I'm going to put some sand or sand rubblish type things on top of that to give it a more of the impression it should have. I will make a better job of that next time, because I did learn something about this, but you really have got to cut them out and go on a big sheet of wet and dry, or reasonable grade, medium grade wet and dry, and just keep circling it like you would a resin pile or anything until you get it down to so they join up nicely. And you still have to fill the seam in though, because there will be a seam there. The door you can see is just there. I've got to be honest, the frame didn't fit into the door hole. Perhaps this was an earlier kit, but anyway, what I did is I shortened the frame till it eventually fitted, and the door I've sanded down a little bit. It still could be sanded more, but I don't want to go too much further. And to be honest, in the photograph it actually shows the door actually in place. Well, I like the look of it like that, so I'm going to put some hinges on the other side, because the door will be the opposite way around, not the way it is, and that will be sort of hanging in there like that, as if it's just come off its hinges and it's just sitting there. So that's it. I've put the window frames in. I'm going to put a little bit of glass around the bottom area, a little bit of glass, just to show you a little bit of that, which will be perspex on the other side, and that'll be it. So, you'll see what I mean? It comes round, all the way round. And this side, I'll still paint this side, and you can see a little gap there, but I've got a little bit of a gap there. You can't see it, but I can underneath there, which I will fill later on. That's okay. So if I bring it around, I'll give an idea of what it'll look like with, and I'm going to be doing a soldier running along the pavement. I've set away for a little figure, so an infantry, American infantry, running along the pavement, and the jumbo coming around the corner. So, and doing this, similar angle like that. And the idea of that is he's running alongside. There'll be a commander out the top, looking out the top of the hatch. Not too high, I don't think. I just put his sort of head coming out the top, and the other rest of the crew members will be actually closed up in the vehicle, because it's in a dodgy area. The commander, you could say, could be doing the same, just looking through his periscopes. But anyway, so that's the idea of it. The periscope over this side hasn't been pushed in permanently, because I can get it out and put the actual clear parts in. All these are loose. I'm going to put a little dab of white glue on each side just so they stay in place while I'm spraying it all later. So yeah, so that's what she's going to look like when she's done. So if I bring that down a bit, not 100% sure on the actual position, but it will be something similar to that. It could be coming along like this and or just going towards the corner. It doesn't really matter which way I do it, but anyway, I don't want it to be running symmetrical to the building, because in line with the building, because it just won't look like right. So I quite like that position there. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this short video. I shall come back in a couple of seconds. Well, that's me back, and that's really the end of this video, just to show this update. And as I said, I'm getting to primer sometime, not today, because I'm doing some other things with the family. So, do primer later on, most probably tomorrow, and priming the base as well, the actual base you've seen earlier on. The tracks don't look any different, so I wouldn't show them now. So if I just zoom in a bit more, you can see the aerial there. I've got the aerial in place. You had a choice of one bent up and being tied down at the back, or that straight up. I went for the straight up one. There we go. If I come in a bit closer, there you go. So that's how she is. So I'm just going to switch it off now. And there she is. So thank you very much for watching, and stay safe out there, and catch you in the next one. Happy modelling.